What's going on, boys? Today we're going to be talking about 5 mistakes I see lower ranked players making in SIDESWIPE. These tips will be useful for mainly players that are platinum and below, but higher ranked people may find them useful as well. If you already know everything in this video, congrats! You're well on your way to becoming a SIDESWIPE GC. Let's hop straight into number 1. One of the biggest things that I see lower ranks do is pushing up at the same time that their teammate does. If your teammate is in the air, you should be on the ground for the most part. You might be able to take a shot, but if you mess up and your teammate hasn't had a chance to get their boost back, your opponents will have an easy time shooting on your net. Try to also always be conscious of how much space you're giving your team. You don't want to sit so far back that you can't help support them if they need it, but you also don't want to be right up on top of their car. Holding on to your flip until you absolutely need to use it will be a game changer for a lot of people. Once you use your flip, your opponents know that there's nothing you can do aside from fly through the air. You may be able to get another touch on the ball, but it's not going to be a very strong one since you can't flip into it. If you hold on to your flip, your opponents will have a chance of overthinking what you're about to do, and they may flip early to try to read you. Saving your flip is very good for defense as well. Try to get good at going for pancake 50-50s and saving your flip for whatever ends up happening to the ball afterwards. A lot of times, people will hit the ball into you, and then you can use your flip to save or take a shot on the ball. I see people using a ton of boost in places that they don't need it, and it usually ends up leading to them getting scored on. For the most part, if I'm on the ground, I'm letting my boost meter go up rather than down. The only time that I boost on the ground is if the ball is suddenly shot towards my side of the field and there's a chance of getting scored on. There's also the people that like to hover in the air trying to read where the opponents will hit the ball. I do have to admit that this does work sometimes, but a better solution is to just sit on the ceiling or backboard and challenge the ball when it gets close to you. One thing I like to do on kickoffs to make sure I have boost afterwards is the pancake kickoff. If done correctly, you can take a shot on your opponent's net with full boost. The best thing you can do for your boost management skills is limit the amount of times you find yourself falling back down through the air with no boost. When this happens, it will take you a long time to be able to get back and help your teammate. If you notice that the aerial you want to take will lead to you having no boost, try staying on the ground a little longer and taking a different opportunity. I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of comments about having bad teammates and how much higher ranked they would be with better ones. And sometimes this might be true, but for the most part, it's also on them for not working well with random people. I've managed to reach Champion 3 while solo queuing 99% of the time. The main thing is you have to be willing to let small mistakes go and try to focus on what is currently happening rather than what just happened. What I mean by this is instead of getting mad mid-game when your teammate gets a bad touch and sends the ball flying back towards your net, focus on what needs to happen next to save the ball and get back on offense. Getting mad or frustrated at what just happened will do nothing for you, but thinking about your next move will help you clean up your teammates' mistakes. People do have bad games sometimes, and you venting your frustration out on them won't make them play any better, and in a lot of cases, it's actually going to make them play worse. The last thing that I'd like to talk to you guys about is giving possession away for free. A lot of people seem to think that booming the ball as soon as they get the chance is the ranked meta, but this instead often leads to a low amount of pressure being applied to your opponents since they'll have an easy save. If you choose to hold on to your flip and stay close to the ball until your opponents challenge you, you will have a higher chance of getting it past them. Another way to hold on to ball possession on failed offensive attempts is back passing. Instead of leaving the ball on your opponent's side when rotating, boom it back to your teammate if they're far back enough. This often sets them up for an easy shot on goal and at the very least keeps you from needing to be on defense right away. Overall, when you're randomly booming the ball, you're just hoping for your opponents to make a mistake that you can capitalize on. Keeping the ball close and trying to outplay your opponents will lead to more goals 100% of the time. And that's pretty much gonna do it for this mistakes video, boys. If you guys learned anything new, please consider dropping a sub or a like, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. See ya.